78.6 FM Yomatan. This is Positive Vibes with Winston. Man, we are days away from 2021. What does that mean to you? What do you guys got planned for the New Year's? What do you have planned for Christmas? I mean, that's right. What's up next door, right? Christmas. What do you have planned for Christmas? For me, I mean, it's where I'm away from home, away from the family. So, we got to make do with what we have here, the family that we have here in the island. So you still want to try to make it and find a way to make the holidays special. So that's my goal. How do I make 2020 Christmas special here in Okinawa, right? In case you haven't noticed, man, everything that we do moving forward, and I made that promise last week, everything that we do on Positive Vibes moving forward is going to be 2.0, right? So Murphy has been kicking my butt. If you guys remember the story from last year or last week, Murphy's been kicking my butt. Had some wonderful, amazing things happening. But Murphy's Law, man, when I tell you if it could go wrong during the segment, it went wrong. That was Murphy's Law for me. I'm looking for Murphy right now. So today, my goal is to make today's show Murphy-less. I knock on some wood if I had some around me. I want to make sure that you know that this is very important to me. The messages each week, if you're receiving the Positive Vibe messages, that's straight from the heart. I mean, I find time and chalk time out the day throughout the week to try to put those messages together. It's not like a one sit-down thing. And so getting your mind ready for a show, 45 minutes to speak from the heart and talk about, what's important to friends and family, or hopefully that they're considering and keeping in mind and making themselves a better version of themselves. It's always the goal, is to try and be a better version of yourself. So today we're doing things different. I start off, of course, the first segment is always going to be an explanation. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is who we are. I'm Winsome. Positive Vibes. Every Saturday we'll come up here. We'll have guests coming up, lined up in 2021. We're going to do something cool where we'll be able to do some Zoom interviews and flip over to them during the show. So I'll talk, and then I'll flip over to the Zoom interview, let you hear the interview, and then I'll flip back to the show. First segment is us, 78.6 FM Yomatan. Second segment, 78.6 FM. And what we're doing is we're sponsored and we got some love. I'll say some very awesome support and written permission from Fearless Motivation to implement their music into our whole show. I was excited to talk about that last week. So during the 2021, and today we're going to test it out. Hopefully Murphy works with me. We're going to test it out. So it's the spoken word and the when they're doing their speeches and the instrumental. So we're going to move that into the second segment. I was going to play it a little bit in the first one, but I may end this first segment with Fearless Motivation. And again, Fearless Motivation Group, our partners over in the U.S. and all over the world are their speakers who have some amazing words of encouragement, positive affirmation. I mean, you name it. I wake up to it and I go to sleep to it. Fearless Soul as well. Instrumentals. Before this show, I was out there bobbing my head, just getting ready. There's nothing more powerful than positive affirmation when you're trying to do something positive in your life. And it's not only from others, but from yourself, right? And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is having a strong mindset. It's one of those things that people say, but not really people know what it means to have a strong mindset, how powerful your mind is. And if you are in tune with yourself, you have that mindfulness and you understand and you know when to tell your mind to shut up because it's causing you to doubt yourself. That's where we're trying to get. 2021, hey, we're going to know how to flick that switch, right? And be able to tell ourselves, hey, I can, I am, and I will. That's what this show is all about. The third segment, as always, dedicated to the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency Team. Right, so we're going to roll in the information from the first two segments, do a little wrap-up and quick summary for my team, the AFW2, Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency Team, and give them some love in the last segment, man. We got some really cool things for them coming up in 2021. This is just a piece of it. I think just yesterday I was seeing they had 33 new folks sign up this week just to get in and see what we're talking about in there. We connected that group with the interview with Johnny Kim that we did last week, or should I say the week before last. So a lot of amazing things happening to close out 2020 and get us mentally ready for 2021. I mean, I don't know how to prepare ourselves for it, right? I'm not even sure there's a way to really prepare ourselves for 2021 other than to know that we have to have faith that it's going to be better than 2020. There has to be that energy that drives us. And that has to be one of those things that we tell ourselves every day. This is going to be better than yesterday. I'm going to be better than yesterday. I am better than yesterday. And that has to be something you start with as soon as you put your feet on that ground. You have your mind going, I'm better than, I can do better. I am better, and I will do better. And we have to make that happen. So one of the songs that I really like from Fearless Motivation is Mental Toughness. One of the ones, I listened to this when I was in Kosovo for the first time. I listened to this album. And this was one of those that you can listen to in the gym and just get you motivated. I think I was throwing around dumbbells when this song came on. It was really cool, really inspiring, and it's one of those that connects you to, everything that you have going on in your mind, how you're supposed to connect mentally to, what you're trying to do in your life and the movement that you have moving forward. So we'll roll that into the second segment. We'll play the Mental Toughness, and it's actually Mental Toughness Reloaded from Fearless Motivation in that group, and you hear some folks kind of screaming in your ear. But what's been going on, Cully, WC? What's been happening in the positive vibes world of Okinawa? Well, Okinawa's been raining. Last week I had an opportunity to get out and get some really cool pics. I had an awesome photographer, also my good luck charm, taking some great pics out there. And it was amazing, man. The weather, it just opened up. I mean, literally, we're about to call it a day because it had been raining the entire afternoon. And then as soon as we got close to the water, it's like the sun was like, hey, just kidding. I give y'all a few minutes, right? So little sprinkles hit the tower here in the Yomatan Tower. It's an amazing experience, guys. The lighthouse, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. So the lighthouse, you get up to the top of it. And a story I told a few weeks back, and I always like to share this story with you. But the tower is kind of symbolic of everything that we have to do in our life if we really want something, right? From a distance, it looks like a huge tower, a huge climb. And you walk inside, it's even more because the first sign you see, it says 92 steps, right? Who wants to take 92 metal steps to do anything? That's just the first thing. So I'm sure a lot of people pay their 3,000 yen or about to, and they see that sign and they're like, nah, that's too many steps, right? Think about that. Think about how many people see the sign before even walking in the door and they turn and walk away, right? They don't even know what's at the top. They just make the decision based on that. So those same people who decide to walk away, they miss out because that one guy, the first guy that goes and says, hey, 92 steps, all right, let's make this happen. I paid my 3,000 yen and I walk in, right? And I start walking up and yeah, you're going to feel it. It's a little painful. You get to the middle way and it tells you you're halfway there, right? So that means in your mind, you're already thinking, gosh, I've come up too far already to turn back. And I can't just stop right here. And I'm only, listen to those words. I'm only halfway there. Gosh. So for your mind already defeating yourself, you just, I got to go up the rest of these steps. So you climb up and then there's almost there. There's the next sign, right? That one can be kind of twisted. The almost there is kind of like, yeah, okay, I can do this. I'm not that far. So that means I'm 3/4 of the way up, right? Then you get to the top. Now, me, I'm not going to lie, and I got a witness in here that can tell you, I bump my head every time I go in this thing at the top. It's always this little area where you bump your head right before you climb and see the beauty that's outside. But once you reach the top of the stairs, once you take that first step outside and you look, you're like, it was worth every step. Think about that. There's people who are so close, just have a little bit of work to do, to do, see, or be something amazing. But instead, it looks like it's too much work. It's too hard. I can't do this. I don't think I'll make 92 steps. And they turn away. That's life in a nutshell. It's those guys that keep pushing, that the 92 steps, or should I say that those steps, the extra effort, the work, it doesn't threaten them. It doesn't discourage them. It's those folks who have their mindset, instead of their brain saying, You're halfway there and thinking, oh, I'm too far away. The first thing they think when they come up that first set of stairs is, oh, here we go, let's keep it going. Get to that point where it says you're halfway there. Hey, I'm already almost to the top. Let's go. Then when it says you're almost there, it's a whole new boost of energy. You see, they're turning that into something else. And it's not the doubt, and it's not the denial, or it's not the fear that's keeping them from going forward. That's all those things that are driving them to go forward. Because maybe that person has had doubt in the past, self-doubt, had fear in the past. They've had lack of effort in the past, and they realized they kept bumping their heads into the same wall, like me bumping my head at the top of the stairway, right? But did bumping my head stop me from taking that last step? No. You see, bumping my head just reminded me I'm already at the top, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wasn't going to be painless. I knew there was going to be work to do. If I bump my head every time, cool, guess what? At least I know where I'm at. I'm where I need to be. And I took that next step, just like you can take that next step in life, because you got rid of all the fear. You got rid of all the self-doubt. You got rid of the words that whispers in your ear telling you that you can't. You're not good enough. You won't make it. You stop listening to those things. That's a long climb. That's a lot of work. You didn't pack enough food for this. You stopped listening to that, and you took the next steps. The steps needed to get to where you needed to be. Get to where you wanted to be. Get to where you envisioned before you even started on that journey. Now, I use the lighthouse as one of my favorite examples because it happens. I go to that place almost every other week. If not, I would try every week if the weather, worked with me, but it doesn't all the time. It rains, right? But the weather was perfect. I would always find a way. If the weather was good, I would always find a way. But if the weather was just a little off, I would still try and find a way. Why am I saying that? Is because sometimes things aren't going to be perfect when you're trying to get to where you're trying to get to. Your goal, your destination, your vision may be attainable, but you're going to have to go through something to get there. You're going to have to feel it. You're going to have to know it's worth it. And they say when you get to the top and you look down, you think about all the work you did. You don't dwell in it. You're not even feeling the same pains or stress anymore because you're where you wanted to be. But do you stop there? Do you say, hey, I'm at the top of this lighthouse. I'm at the top of this goal. I met my goal. I'm just going to be here. I'm good. I'm comfortable. I have arrived. No. Because the whole journey, the entire journey, is about pushing yourself. So when you get up there, yeah, enjoy it. Love on it. Live in it. Embrace it. But then look for what's next. You see, that's where a lot of people get to these days, especially where I'm from. They get to that one journey and they're thinking that's it. They settle for that journey because they did all the work to get to that one place and they settle. But there's so much more. There's so many other places, so many other things, so many other opportunities, so many other experiences. Don't miss out. What's the point of being here? You only live one time. Or should I say you live every day, but you only die once. You die. That means every opportunity, every day, every story that you could have written, every chapter that you could have lived in, why would you stay in the same place forever? So think about that. Mine's just the lighthouse. Mine, I can literally picture myself because I just did it. But what's your lighthouse? Where are you trying to get to? Who are you trying to become? Who are you? In 2021, don't walk into the first day of the new year saying, let me figure this out. This is my New Year's resolution. Or wait till the week before and say, oh, yeah, this is my goal. No, listen, you should have been doing that as soon as COVID hit. You've been locked away for the last year. You've had all year to figure out who you want to be when the storm goes away. Right? Can't get to the lighthouse until the storm goes away. Can't get to your dream, your vision, your goal till that storm blows away. Hopefully you've been planning what your first, second, and third steps are going to be leading to that finish line. That's on you. Everybody has their own path, their own race. What direction are you running? You running away from it, or you running towards your finish line? It's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. and we'll talk more about mental toughness when we come back. Hey, remember what I told you about Murphy? Yeah, she got me again. So last week I had the phone. I was ready. I had the system all set up, and then I came and realized my loaner phone that it doesn't have the jack. So I went out and bought the jack, and it's still not connecting to the music. I mean, at this point in time, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to wait to 2021. It does not want me to play my jams and get y'all motivated until next year. So I'm just going to have to put my voice on it and let you know what I was about to talk about. Mental toughness, man. A mindset, a strong mindset, positive mindset, a mind that tells you that no matter what and how hard it looks in front of you, you still can. A mindset that tells you that no matter who you were before, you can be whoever you want to be tomorrow. What's a strong mind? A strong, powerful mind is one that you control, not one that controls you. You see, we got people who they feel that their brain is stronger than them. Their mind is so much stronger than them. They can't make these decisions because it's so hard and difficult and stressful. Do you know yourself? Who are you? Who were you when you stepped up and got that new job before the job got stressful? What was your dream, goal? What was your vision? What did you see yourself doing, tackling? What did you see yourself achieving? Right? So that's the thing. Mental toughness isn't just something that comes. Your mind is like a muscle. So let me tell you about that. Your mind is like a muscle, right? Just like anything else, man. Any other muscle you work in your body, you have to train it. So your biceps, your triceps, your quads, right? Got a friend in the room right now who's a personal trainer. You have to train those body parts to get stronger, to get bigger. You don't want your brain to get big. I don't want nobody walking around with some big old heads. But to make you strong, your mind stronger, wiser, is what you put into it. What books are you reading? So if you're trying to figure out who you want to be in 2021, what books actually outline and can help you with a roadmap to get there? What are you listening to? Now, I ain't one of those old men to sit here and talk bad about modern music, but I will tell you this. Are you listening to positive music, the words of positive affirmation, music that's the vibe you want in your life? Or are you just vibing to the story of your life that you've had? Give you an example. I went through a breakup, so I'm going to listen to breakup music. And this is my favorite singer now, so I'm just always going to listen to this singer. Or are you listening to something that you know this singer, rapper, artist, whatever you want to call it, always has something positive to say? It's not stressful. It's not depressing. It's not saddening. It's positive. What are you watching? Are you watching those movies that are doing nothing but setting you back 15 hours of the time you put into those Netflix binges? Or are you watching something that's actually going to help you grow? There's nothing wrong with it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with finding that show. It's called escapism. There's nothing wrong with finding that show, that movie, or those shows that you escape. I do it all the time. But are you also finding the time to watch or listen to something that's helping grow you? Because I guarantee you the Mandalorian isn't going to help you with your job next year unless your job is in Disney. I guarantee you that finishing up the Supernatural season isn't going to help you with your job next year or who you're trying to be unless you're trying to be one of those characters from the show. Or if you work for that station, CW. Do you hear where I'm getting at? What are you watching? What are you doing? And how are you growing your mind? How are you making your mind stronger? How are you challenging yourself? Are you putting yourself in situations where you're making yourself think? Putting yourself in situations where you're making yourself focus. You're challenging yourself. You see, a lot of people just go aimlessly every day, just jump in there and see what happens. They don't have a plan. So what I told my friends last week, and I told them straight up, I said, hey, what you have to do is don't wait to come up with a plan. You got to draw your plan up first, right? And like I tell you guys all the time, you can't hit a target you can't see. So draw it out. Write it out. I had a friend last week, wrote a letter, not a text, not email, a letter. I hadn't seen that in years. One of the coolest things to look at because you see somebody using their ink, penmanship, hand. The most we do that nowadays is to write your signature, right? But a full page letter, which I thought was incredible, cool, and awesome to see. But what does that do? Like, think about that. How many of us actually write in cursive and write letters nowadays? How much practice will we need just to make it fine-tuned like it used to be when we did that every day? It takes work, right? You can't just jump on there and remember how to do a G or S. Some of it's natural, like riding a bike, but the rest of it, like, oh, man, let me see. I used to do it at the middle of the line. And think about that. These are lost arts, just like your mind. Your mind was like a sponge when you were younger, a kid just soaking it all in. And as you got older, life started to cloud and pollute it. But when you start strengthening your mind, when you start putting your mind to work like you did when you were younger, when you start approaching life the same way, you become a sponge again. But now you're sponging the things that are important to you and your growth. Don't be polluting your mind. Should I say don't be? Don't pollute your mind with things that are not going to allow you to grow. Stop doubting yourself. When you start doubting yourself, you're not allowing your mind to grow. You're not even giving yourself a chance to get off the starting blocks. A strong mind is a mind that says, I may not have been able to do it before. That doesn't mean that I'm going to limit myself to who I was. I can be whoever I want to be. I can do whatever I want. And I will achieve whatever I set my mind to. Because my mind is strong. My heart is strong. I am strong. You see, when you start telling yourself those things, that positive affirmation, that reassurance, and reminding yourself that you are stronger than you were before, you start remembering little things like, yeah, man, I survived something like this before. I can do this. Wait a minute, I've done harder stuff than this. I can manage this. You start remembering that where you're at in life right now is because you made steps, decisions, and choices to get you there. Things didn't just happen magically. So if you make the same steps, decisions, and choices to get you where you're at in your life right now, what steps, decisions, and choices do you need to make to get to where you've always wanted to be? Or where you want to be right now? You see, we make it harder than it needs to be. I don't know how many books around the house and at work about different ideas and thoughts going through my mind, different goals, visions, and it's just a bunch of writing. I was writing before I walked in the room, and I've only looked at my page like 2-3 times because now it's in my head. I've seen it already. Now I'm just regurgitating it or spitting it back to you because these are my thoughts and what was in my mind before I came here. And it all comes with training. I had a young lady telling me about her social anxieties over the last couple of weeks. And I teach public speaking, right? So she says, how do I get out of my anxiety to get in front of people? My answer, get in front of people. How else do you expect to do it? How else can you try? How else will you force your mind to start practicing what you wanted to do? How do I work on it? Work on it. I want to be a faster runner. How do I get out on the track and run fast? Practice. I want to be able to read more than one book in a month. How do I do it? Read a book first. Start with one. You see, we make it harder than it has to be. We talk about it, but not everybody takes those action steps to make it happen. You have to build your mind, strengthen your mind to do these things that you've been doubting that you can do. You have to stop allowing things to block you, distract you, and get in your way. If you have your mind set on something, share that goal with someone who is important to you. Hey, I'm trying to do A, B, and C. Surround yourself with those people that are going to push you in that direction to achieve. You see what those people become, just like in the gym where you have someone spotting you when you're lifting a heavy weight. These people become your life spotters, your mind spotters. Help you stay focused on your goal and what you set yourself up to do. Surround yourself with those people who won't let you fail because you won't let each other fail. Not the people who want you to be out, pulling you away from what you have set in front of yourself because it fits them. No. The unselfish person that is on your team and you guys are pushing each other forward. Find them. They're out there. Find yourself a mentor, a coach, a teammate that you can refer to whenever you're falling off track or you're you're out of your lane. Get back in the fight. Find that person that's going to say, hey, that's not what you told me a week ago. Hey, you might shift, but you got to get back on the track. Your finish line's in front of you, but you're not even going in the right direction. That person that's going to keep it real with you 100% all the time, every time. You need that feedback, that truth. Because if not, you're out there aimlessly. Don't let your ego tell you that you can do it by yourself. Nobody in life has done anything all by themselves. It hasn't happened that way. There's always been someone, somewhere, that had a bridge laid out for them. Somewhere along them steps. Some move, some gesture. Think about it. I all by myself. No. There was work behind the scenes to help you, to guide you, to push you. Now, there's self-starters. Yeah. 100%. I guarantee you read it somewhere. Who you think wrote it? That person. That made that bridge for you. You know, one of the coolest things in the world is to be able to reach back to those people that built those invisible bridges that they didn't even know they nudged you forward. To reach back and tell them, hey, because of you, I'm stronger. Because of you, I'm better. Because of you, my vision is clear. Because of your words or your actions, I'm in a better place in my life. You spotted me and you didn't even know who I was in the gym. You see what I mean? The gym, as opposed or as comparison to life, you'll need spotted to lift that weight you're trying to lift. Your mind is a muscle. Mental toughness is being able to tell yourself to shut up sometimes when you're doubting yourself. You don't think you can. You have to try, especially if it's in your heart and your mind and you wake up every day thinking about something that you haven't achieved. Perfect example, my man who was eating himself, going through depression and struggling with life because he couldn't get back in the ring, Mike Tyson. What did Iron Mike do? Not only did he create a match exhibition fight, Mike got in the ring. And what is he right now, 51 years old? Whatever. Hey, come on, man. It doesn't matter how old you are or where you're at in your life. If you have a passion for it, if you're passionate about it and you really want it, go get it. Now, I ain't saying at 51 you get on an NFL football field unless you're a kicker. Don't do that to yourself. But there's things in your life. It's not too late. Mental toughness starts with you. And if you want to know more, we'll be back after this break. 78.6 FM Yoma Time. This is Positive Vibes with Winston. We were talking about mental toughness, being strong enough to say I can, I am, and I will in 2021. Being strong enough to not just say I want to do something, but taking the steps, the action plans, and the movements to make things happen. That's mental toughness. Stop listening to the doubt, the doubters, the naysayers, the whispers. And you know what? I heard something amazing last night. It was another speaker, and he was saying something really cool. He said, you know what, man? He said, we let people... Wait, not even that. Actually, let me go back. It wasn't even about other people. He said, we get mad when other people... He said, picture this, right? You go to work. This is probably completely out of order, but I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, you go to work, and there's a guy that comes and sits down in front of you, and he says, man, I don't think you got it. I don't think this is a job for you, man. I don't know. You look at this dude like, I don't even know, bro. What? Get out of here, man. I ain't paying attention to you. So you go to the gym. Same guy rose up. I don't know, man. That weight looks kind of heavy, bro. You might want to just stop trying to lift in here. Go back and watch some Netflix, man. Some Amazon Prime. I heard Disney Plus got some good. What? What? You know, you go to the grocery store. Hey, bro, I don't know why you trying to eat healthy, bro? It's too much work, man. Just try to eat what you want to, man. Just stop trying to be healthy. It doesn't make sense. Now, you don't know this person, right? So, and he's giving you all this fake data information and throwing all this shade and hate your way, right? So, shady hate. Why would you listen to a stranger? You wouldn't. You tell him to go jump off a roof or something, right? So let me ask you this. He and the speaker made this so sound and clear. He said, so if you wouldn't allow a stranger to speak those nonsense words into your mind, why are you doubting yourself and doing the same exact thing to yourself? The most intimate person to you, your best friend and worst enemy at the same time is you. He said, we let that doubt, those whispers, leave space rent-free in our minds. And they sit there and they tell us you can't. You're not good enough. Hey, you're looking in the mirror, and some people are literally saying that to themselves. So if you wouldn't let a stranger tell you who you are, why would you beat yourself up? It sounds crazy, right? But that's what we do. We doubt ourselves. We doubt our own abilities, and we don't even give ourselves a chance. So flip it. In 2021, if you don't do anything else, at the end of this year, if you don't do anything, start now. If you don't do anything else, change your identity, change your DNA, change your mindset, and tell yourself you can. Look in the mirror and say, I am, I can, and I will. Those three things, I said it to you weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. This is 2021. If you can't, cool. If COVID keeps you from traveling, okay, make a plan for when it's not keeping you from moving anymore. If COVID's keeping you from doing certain things, cool. But what can you do? You see, this last segment number 3 is always dedicated to the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency Team, right? And what we're going to talk about today is getting past that mindset of that you can't. Getting past that mindset of that what happened to you is who you are now. No, it's not what happened to you. It's what you do next. You see, I told my team this week on text, man, I sent everybody a message. I said, when the fall is ugly and painful, you have to make the rise, that climb up, beautiful and inspiring. You see, when you fall flat in your face, and just like anybody else, is that fall is horrible, right? Think about all the people you see knocked out. Think about when you trip in water. Think about how ugly that fall is. But you know, the greatest moment is when you see somebody fall, but they get up gracefully. When you see somebody fall and they get up like it didn't even hurt. When you see somebody fall and they get up, they brush themselves off and they keep it moving. That's the beauty of life, because you can fall at any point, but it's not about the fall. It's how you get back up. That's what matters. You see, as long as you have the ability to look up, then you can get up. You see, we don't know what that means. I'm waking up every day with a new start, fresh slate, I don't have to be the person I was yesterday. I don't owe that to anybody. I don't have to say, hey, yeah, you know what? I was horrible yesterday, so that's who I am. That's my DNA. No, you can be whoever you want to be. Yesterday is gone. Today is now. What's in your DNA now? Who is your identity now? Who do you choose to be now? You see, life has a tendency to break you in order to make you. What that means is life has a tendency to beat you up. Just like a fighter. I was talking about Creed last week. Remember, he was taking all them shots, going out and training, hitting the wheel, pushing it. But what happened? What happened with Creed is it made him stronger. That's what happened in that movie. All that pain, everything he went through, all that training made him better and stronger. And that's the same thing life is doing to you. All that pain, all that training, all these challenges 2020 has brought your way. It taught you how to adapt. It taught you how to think differently. It taught you how to be innovative. It taught you how to love people from afar. You see, 2020, it was a blessing in disguise for a lot of us. It was very painful for a lot of us too. But in those painful lessons, there were blessings. There were stories. You see, we're down, but we're not out. We're still in the fight. We're still in the ring, and we're still on the field. We're still in the game of life, man. You see, these challenges, they're not meant to destroy us, beat us up, take us out the game. They're meant to define us. Define. Tell you who you are. Outline your character, who you're supposed to be, what direction you're supposed to be going. It helps you set your path. And everything that we've gone through, been through, it was meant to remind you of who you are. And a lot of us in 2020, we weren't the person we were supposed to be. Right? To start this year off, we needed to be something different if we wanted to grow, if we wanted to change, if we wanted to be a positive beacon, if we wanted to be a good person. See, we had to change a lot of things in order to move forward. And change started with not just one person, but guess what? The entire world got sick. And there's pain in it. But the thing is, we can pain, boo-hoo, cry, get in the bed, lay in a pillow, be depressed, or we can use the pain. You see, we needed to feel something in order to change something. Those tears meant something. Nothing was going to change unless we changed. And like the speaker said, he said we had to own it, learn from it, and grow from it. Own it, learn from it, and grow from it. There's only one way to move forward, and that is to grow. If we're standing still, we're not going anywhere. We're staying in the same place we were, and that defeats the whole purpose of everything we've gone through. Had someone awesome on our site say recently, it's all about bouncing forward. Last year, I would tell everybody it's all about navigating through. But the whole key is to get rid of that whole topic of bouncing back. Because if I'm bouncing back, that means I'm going right back to the same place I was. That means I'm not growing at all. That means I'm taking the same steps that got me in a place I didn't want to be. So instead of bouncing back, I want to navigate through and I want to bounce forward. I want to take major leaps forward. I want to fly forward. I want to zoom forward. I want to move forward. You see, the one thing about 2021 is you have to have a winning mind versus a quitting mind. And what that means, you have to remind yourself every day that you have already survived your worst days. Remind yourself every day to be grateful for everything. All the things that happened, good and the bad, there was a reason, there was a story, there was a purpose. You have to remember what your why is. What's your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you get up? Why do you do what you do? What is your why? What drives you? What energizes you? And when you find your why, you find your purpose, you find your meaning, you find your energy, you find that boost. My friends teach me because I drink a Bang energy drink every day to get it going, right? Bam, the gym, work, boom. It's not a free advertisement. I'm going to call you Bang after this. But I get it, and it gets my day moving. But that's just the energy to focus sometimes, like drinking coffee. But you know what my why is? My why is the ones that I have looking back at me to see me grow. Those little ones that have looking up to me. The folks that I care about, that I know don't want to see me fail, and I refuse to fail. Those people, those situations, those experiences, knowing that I didn't come this far just to come this far, that's my why. Because I have so much further to go, and I'm not settled, and I'm not going to stay here. So I ask you, what is your why? Is it because someone needs you? Is it because someone loves you, looks up to you? Is it someone cares about you? Is it for those who doubted you? Is it because that you doubted yourself and now you got so much more to do? What is your why? And if you don't know what your why is, if you're listening to me right now and you haven't figured it out, guess what? That's where you start. Instead of doing all that research about everything else, start with why. Like Simon Sinek's book says, start with why every day. That should be your move, your first goal. No, I joke when I say I start my Bang energy drink. I always start with why. When I wake up in the morning, when I'm putting on my uniform and I'm looking at who I'm working for, and on that uniform is the coolest thing, and I heard somebody else say it. On one side, it says who I work for. And on the other side, it says who I am. What does that tell you? No matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm at, I can always look and remember and remind myself who I am. Who are you? Why are you in this fight? Why are you doing what you do? What are you doing next? What drives you? What are you going to do in 2021 that's so significantly different? And I can't use 2020. I'll say 2019. 2020 had us in the what do you call that? The ropes holding us back. We couldn't move like we wanted to. We couldn't move the same when it came to travel experiences and different things. But what are you going to do different when you can? Are you going to use the excuses that you've been out of practice this whole time? Are you going to use the excuse that you haven't been able to, you forgot how, or you didn't have time to plan? No. It's not an excuse, guys. You see, because everything that happens next is up to you. It's not what happened to you. It's what you do next. Stop using the past as an excuse to hold you back. That's your mind playing tricks on you. Stop using experiences or situations as a reason you can't. That's your mind playing tricks on you. Stop using other people's failures as reasons why you won't try. That's your mind playing tricks on you. Remember what we said, if you were listening to the entire segment, it's about mental toughness. Resolutions is a made-up term. When you're setting your goals, start putting your plans into action now. Every day for the next, I don't care how long leading into the new year, do something every day towards your goal that you have set up in your mind. You have to stop making that dream sit there as a dream and start working to make that dream a reality. That means you versus you. You taking the steps to make that reality come true for 2021. Who do you want to be? Some of you are that close to your degree. Some of you that close to that getting in a gym to get that dream body that you've been picturing for years. Some of you are that close to doing something special for your kids or for your family, that trip that you always wanted to do. Some of you are that close to moving to that place you've always wanted to be in your life or traveling there. Everybody always thought they had tomorrow, or I'll do it next year, until COVID just came up, smacked you in the face and said, you may not have tomorrow, player. That's a reminder. You got to do it now. Procrastination isn't cool no more. It's not trending. It's all about living right now. Because I know we used to say you only live once, but the truth is you only die once. You live every day, and you have an opportunity to do something great every day. You can find a million reasons to hate life and be angry at the world, or you can find a million reasons to love life and be happy. Carrie Welsh. You're loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. See you next week.
はい。この時間からは FM 読谷からお知らせがございます。